Hey, welcome back. It's November 7th, and I want to leave you a vote of courage because unfortunately, we are seeing yet again a bloodbath across the financial markets and in crypto. There's been a lot of multi-billion-dollar crypto liquidations. Why are we seeing behind the scenes the larger players, institutions, and also those high net worth individuals are silently buying into the dip? And this is something that we should be doing, right? This is no different as to how we would manage our own investments decisions in our portfolios. Now, why do I honestly think, as I have been explaining in several of my videos, on why AI, Bitcoin and crypto are for me is like the magical formula that would comprise this digital intelligence economy in the 21st century. And I just want to give you a few statistics, particularly around the magnitude of opportunity that exists in crypto and in Bitcoin. Now, just some stats which I find interesting. There's $3.5 trillion of total value locked in crypto as of this moment. 2 trillion of that, so almost 55 to 60% of that is Bitcoin. Now we have other use cases in real world assets. So within the tokenized treasury space, you have seen videos where I've been explaining some of these interesting trends. So in the case of US treasuries, so these are tokenized treasuries of the US government issued bonds on the blockchain. It's currently $9 billion of TVL and it's growing. Equally, we are seeing another $1 billion of other tokenized government bonds. And if you look at the other side of the coin in terms of loans and debt issue, we are seeing the emergence of a brand new use case around tokenizing private credit. So the whole tokenization of the credit infrastructure, that is currently worth $19 billion and it's growing. Now, if you add to this the digital currency, so the medium of exchange currencies like stablecoins, it's $295 billion worth and it's growing. And in addition to the tokenization of the digital finance, we got tokenized equities and stocks. Now it's actually around $658 million of TVL on those, but it's growing. So what I'm trying to say is, with all these figures I've given you, and if you put it within the grand scheme of the entire global wealth, which is $900 trillion, you can see that we are still in the very early innings in that journey of demonetizing the physical analog wealth in the digital intelligence economy. That is the opportunity that I want to leave you today. So we shouldn't be distracted, if you like, with all the noise, all the hysteria, all of the FOMO on what is the top emerging coin or why we are seeing this bloodbath from 1 month to the next. And for what reason, which nobody knows, right? Let's be frankly honest, no one knows. It's just manipulation. So this is all the reason why we need to step back and see the whole picture. Why we are doing this is because we want to safeguard ourselves and our financial wealth as a sovereign individual against the entropy, against the manipulation, against the liquidations, particularly those that have leveraged borrowing in order to invest in these assets, which is something I've always advocated against, particularly for the retail investors, the small guy. We should never do that. That is mostly left to institutions and corporations because at the end of the day, they're not going to use their own corporate treasury reserves in terms of cash to make investment decisions. They usually use leveraging for that. So it's mostly veered on institutions and Wall Street and the financial markets at large on leveraging, not for the retail investors. And in addition to that, we should never, as I said before, fall into the trap of panic sell whenever we see these volatile moments or moments of uncertainty creeping in. So all the figures I've given you should be reasons enough why we should make these sort of decisions in this digital intelligence economy, because it's the next internet era fit for the 21st century. It is growing. The figures I've given you support that, and it's just kind of a teaser as to what we could expect to see at the end of our holding period. It's going to be certainly into the multi-trillion-dollar industry. So anything that you can invest in AI, in Bitcoin as a leading digital capital, and then on digital finance, those top RWA coin projects, well, you can't go wrong to do that, because at the end of the day, when we are no longer here, our next of kin are not going to be concerned about inheriting our brick and mortar physical and analog wealth. They're going to be mostly interested in inheriting in digital wealth. So this is all the more reason why we need to be courageous and slowly but surely make these sort of investment decisions, but with a long time horizon and with your head intact. So that's the message I'd like to leave you today. Until next time.